Run, party, repeat. Welcome to the East Coast Adventures Dirt and Vert Podcast, where we talk all things running, racing, and training to help you get ready for your next big adventure.
Learn from our successes and our failures, and have fun at the same time. Join us right here every week with inspiring guests who share their captivating tales from the trails. And remember, nobody cares.
Run faster. All right. Welcome back to the Dirt and Vert Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Matt.
And we have a very special guest with us today and a little bit direction of a podcast. So we've got Brian Abadia with us, who is a runner, but also has launched a new business over the last year and has grown pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. We've got to talk to Brian and learn a little bit about him. And we want him to be able to share his story today and tell the listeners who he is and how he got started in both running and Fooster. So, Brian, if you don't care, let's start out with tell us a little bit about who you are and how you got into running.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you guys for that. The way I started into running was, as I call it, a little bit by accident. Like, I'm really curious about everything, so I kind of try everything. I was never athletic. I never started as a runner, a pro ex-athlete, division, nothing. I never did that. I like swimming. That's the only thing. My background is in swimming. But I try absolutely everything out of curiosity. I just want to try it. And a couple of years ago, I injured my back. I was doing CrossFit. CrossFit was a big thing. I did it for a couple of years. I tried to compete in CrossFit. I found it. I like really hard efforts and things that are like mentally painful. I really like that. And I like the thumbs up. I really like those things. So I did CrossFit for a while. I ended up injuring my back. I guess I did a bad movement. And that, as I got older, at some point I stopped walking completely. I lost mobility of my right leg. And what happened is I pinched one of my nerves, got to the doctor after a week and a half, finally was able to barely move. And the doctor was like, dude, you're in pretty bad shape. We have two options. Either you do something like some sort of exercise that works on your core, or I do surgery and you might not be able to walk or walk normal.
Wow.
So I took it as a challenge to, hey, what can I do that I do every single day? So I just did a little experiment and tried to run 1 mile every day for 30 days. And after that, I was hooked. I got,
Wow.
it was one of those things, just like I hated it, but then it was like, yeah, this thing is great. And I started like chasing my own PRs, not fast at all, but dude, a mile is a mile. It doesn't really matter. That's how I started running a little bit. Yeah.
I love it. It's funny to think about how you get started on stuff, because I remember back in the day, I was the same with you. I hated running. Did not like it. I didn't start running till like 2014, 2015.
Huh.
And I started out running around my subdivision, and it was like a half a mile. That's all I would do. And it was so long ago, like all you had was the Nike Run Club app. I used that to like log my mile. I mean, I don't even think Strava was out then. You had to, I used that. And, and I remembered I would finish like a half a mile or something, and I'd be like, whew, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's just amazing to think about like how you get started. How did the hip thing turn out? Did you, like, as far as the pinched nerve?
It seems I guess it was during a heavy lift. I was lifting a PR of sorts, and it seems that when I landed, the belt that I was using popped, or it got loose. Yeah. So all the weight got in my spine, and that kind of made the nerve kind of bulge. So the nerve is, if you see my spine, is kind of pinching between. Mm-hmm. It's not a hernia, which they can operate, but it's also not completely inside. So it kind of touches, and that it's like electricity. It's a shock of electricity that goes on my right leg all through my spine, and then I stop walking. Like I literally cannot walk. Even like breathing hurts because it's just like a pinch of electricity on that. So any movement, but like doing some sort of core workout help out. And I discovered like this kind of endurance sports that you have to use your core because of your form, kind of force you to do that. So I did swimming for a while. It was great. I love swimming. I love the water. It's just like waking up at 3:45 to go to a pool an hour away from your home. Dude, that's not fun.
No.
Yeah, running became that escape for me. It was like, hey, I can just wake up, get a cup of coffee, and then just put on my shoes and go. Be back an hour later. And that was it. And then after that, I just got hooked into running. And then I started running for other reasons. I started as a recovery from an injury, and somehow I got better at it. And then I started making friends. And then we have conversations. And then I started running because I needed to think. So that sort of deal, like it's the way. I don't know if it happens the same to you guys, but sometimes I feel like running is like you deal with the things in your head. Like just go for a run. It doesn't matter the distance. It's like I go to think, and sometimes you don't think, but somehow everything is clear when you finish. So I like that, and it's just like put on a good podcast and just go.
It's either clear or you've at least calmed down.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
So is there, what's like did you sign up for a race after you started doing this? Did you try any 5Ks or a half
Yes,
marathon
I tried. The first thing I tried was a triathlon. I did mountain bike here and there. My family and I, we come from Florida. So Florida has a lot of like cross country. It's pretty flat, but you have some good, cross country mountain biking trails down there. So I signed up for a triathlon. I'm like, well, I can bike and I can swim. I'm pretty fast at swimming. So running should be a piece of cake. It wasn't. So I did the first two legs of that. Swimming and cycling was great. And then when I started running, dude, I was in so much pain. Legs were stiff. It was like it was like a sprint one. So it was like a 5K run. It was the most painful 5K I've ever run in my life. And after that, I was like, yeah, I have to do something about it. I didn't train that part. I thought I could wing it because, like, yeah, if I can just walk it, I'm fast on the other two. My ego got destroyed like pretty quickly. Yeah, I signed for, and I now every year I sign for the same race. I'm trying to beat my record like every year on that race. It's a local thing, and I just do it just for the fun of it. Now I can finish. I'm like, yeah. Now it feels easier. It's not completely easy, but it feels easier than what it was a couple of years ago.
That's awesome. Uh, so you recently just did an ultra, right? You did you went
The
to the
Rattler.
Rattler, is that correct? What
That is.
distance did you go for?
I signed up for the 50K. Signed up for the 50K. Trained. It was a 13-week block that I miscalculated, so I ended up doing a 16-week block. The last 2 weeks I was pretty sick. Kids in school, like whatever they had, I ended up 2 weeks in bed, like really bad. And it was November 8th. I did it. I show up in the morning. The first loop feeling great. Second loop I felt like crap. Third loop I couldn't finish, so I DNF at mile 27. I tried to limp.
27. So
I know, dude. I know. I started doing mental math of if I can limp this, 20 miles per hour, then I will. No, math wasn't working for me that day. Like it was a tough one, more
Yeah.
for the soul rather than for the race.
Yep.
I would have limped my way out, but yeah, it was painful. Yeah.
Oh man, are you going to try to go back?
I'll sign for another 50K. To be honest with you, I'm not really. The Rattler was fun. There is a part of the race that you go into a ranch, and then that ranch is next to a shooting range. So there's nothing like a SWAT team shooting like high caliber stuff while you're sweating and in pain. Bro, that thing was like, I hated that part. So I'm not really sure if I'm a big fan of that. The terrain is great. The race was fun, except for that part.
Did they have any rattlers? No rattlesnakes hanging out.
I didn't see any, which is good though.
Yeah, you don't want to see that when you're running.
It'll make you run pretty quick. You see a couple of those.
Yeah. Well, you recover like fastest mile ever.
So
Yeah.
have you recovered from that one? I guess that was back in November. Everything okay now?
That was November. I tried to run the last mile, 26 to 27, and I ended up injuring myself a little bit more. That's why I have to call it a day. I have I just got diagnosed with a small tear on my LCL. So it's about a centimeter, but that created some sort of liquid in the knee. So that kind of aggravated the problem. I'm now fine. I started to run again. I'm not doing more than 5 miles, 6 miles. Like I did 6 miles yesterday, and that was an accomplishment. Still a little bit. It bothers me. Not completely recovered, but I'm hoping in the next 2 months I'm back at, I don't know, I'm going to put myself through another 13-week training plan for whatever I can find. And that'll be fun.
I love
Yeah.
it. Good. Well, now let's shift gears for a minute, because I want to ask, as we're learning about you, so you got into running, and when was it that you started running? Like, you roughly remember what year that was?
I started running probably 2022.
Okay.
Maybe
2022.
2021, 2022.
Okay. So
That time.
you're 3-4 years in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So you went from runner to runner entrepreneur.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that come about?
You guys know, right? When you are training, when you take running or any endurance sport seriously, it's not just about doing it. There's a lot of things around that sport, right?
Yeah.
Anything from the gear that you take, and then you realize that a banana per hour will not cut it if you're doing like an 8-hour race. You take a banana. So you start shopping around for things. I didn't know anything about nutrition specifically when I started running. I just run in, hopes and good vibes. And that was my plan, and a little bit of water in a bottle. And that was it, which is fine for a, 5K. Sure. You'll make it home. Whenever you start like adding and putting on miles under sport, I started asking friends. I start being part of a community of runners. We run every Friday. We end up, it's just a bunch of guys. We run every Friday. We go to a coffee shop after, we talk, just build community around that. And then because of those friends, I started asking around, like, hey, I'm trying to train I'm going to do my first 10K, and then I'm going to do my first half, and then I'm going to do, how can I make it to a marathon distance? And then there's like, hey, by the way, I'm using such product and this thing. And what about if you try this and combine with such and such? And in that journey, I discovered that two things happened for me. One was that I had to shop everywhere, and that shopping everywhere became like it's not really convenient for me to do that. And the second thing I discovered, like from the options that were out there, everything is complicated. Like you need to know exactly what you're doing to be able to properly fuel. If you go to a website, it's like trying to go to Amazon to buy stuff. Like, dude, what do I buy? They have like 40,000 options. Oh, in that aspect, like Fooster came like organically through that. Is like, you know what? We have tried all the bad things, all the things that taste like cake batter at mile end that you don't want to. The disgusting thing, the super sweet thing, the things that don't do anything but advertise whatever. So we tested all those, or I have tested it on my co-founders as well. And we said, you know what, let's just kind of provide everything that kind of works for us. This thing's working for us, for our friends. Let's kind of pass on that knowledge and make it easy. It's like, I don't have to have like 60 options, but only 3 work. Just give me the 3 that work. I don't need the other, there are 57. That's not good, at least in the way we see it. That on that aspect. Yeah, we can try to simplify a little bit the offer out there. And then it was just curiosity. It was like, dude, like one day we're just like, hey, what if we just contact all these guys that we buy product from and tell them, hey, we have a new marketplace. We're trying to sell this. Tell them the vision that we have, and can we sell your stuff? And somehow they're vibing with us, and here we go. Like here we are. That's the story.
Now, when did you all launch the official store?
I was going through our records. We officially launched the first week of September because of Google. We were not supposed to launch until this week,
Oh wow.
but because we have nutritional products, anything that you consume, in order for us to advertise through Google and to be able to get listed as a Google product, we need to they need to clear everything pretty much and see it. So we have to open the store. Google was like, "Hey guys, no, we're not gonna give you the okay to list any products unless you open the store." So we're like,
Wow.
"Hey, nothing to lose. Let's open the store." And we started September the first week, whatever. It was a Monday. We're like, dude, just click that thing and it's open. We're live. So we call it a soft launch. It was more like Google forced us into a soft launch,
So
which is, yeah.
what does Fooster mean? How did that name come about?
Oh, that's there are like two stories. One is super geeky, and I'm not gonna tell you that one because I'm gonna bore you with that one. And the other one is I come from advertising. Like my background, my personal background, I'm a creative director for advertising. I worked with many brands in the past, so I'm obsessed with brands that have kind of words that feel right, but they don't really have a meaning behind. It's just like it belongs, right? Like the word Kodak, it sounds like a camera. It sounds like a click of a camera, or Rolex. It's like, it sounds like you're rolling the mechanism of the watch. Those words don't exist. So when talking to my co-founders, are like, well, let's try to do something like that. So we started looking into words that sounded like fast, like food, like your feed, and like, dude, what about like Fooster? And Fooster happened because of that. It was like, it feels right. It feels like it should be a word. And Fooster means like, yeah, it's fast, it's food, is your feed, is the idea of, he could be anything. And he also feels like a last name, right? It feels like there's some dude named Mr. Fooster that has a company called Fooster and Co. that sell Fooster stuff and has a community of Foosters. So it felt like that. So that's how Fooster happened. It's just Fooster, and it was it's spelled out the same in every single language. That's a trade from advertising. You kind of have to just make sure that everyone can understand. So yeah,
Yeah.
And then, so in September, then you launched the Fooster.com,
yeah.
and it was ready to roll at that point. Did you have enough products lined up in September to have have a lot of options, or have you added a bunch since then?
We have added a bunch of them. The goal that we had was, can we bring five products, like basically, like, or five lines of product into that to launch. Based on the idea is like, if you think of any marketplace is technically a supermarket, so you need to have a couple of options for people to choose things, right? So we contacted five of them. We're gonna like 30. From those 35 said yes. So we're like, dude, we have five. So September was like, wait, we have five. That was the goal. We got it. And since then, we have brought in, the last time I counted was probably like 12 different brands that we carry throughout. We have gotten upwards to 17 at this point, but some of them, I go back to the premise of, is this thing really delivering what they say they deliver? We have brands that they sound great. They look, like they look like a $1 million brand. Someone has put a lot of advertisement behind them. Someone knows what they're doing in marketing. But then when you look under the hood, is they're like, dude, this thing just looks right, but doesn't really do whatever they say they do. So we just delist them. And I think that's the criteria for us, is like, I don't want to carry things for the sake of carrying things.
Yep.
I want to carry things that help you run another couple hundred races this year. And dude, that's what you need. You don't need, cake batter at mile 50.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what has been your most popular product so far?
From what we carry, dude, like the guys from Precision Fuel, they're killing it. Those guys are amazing. Like Their nutrition it's killer. The guys from Friction Prescription, they're killing it too. Yeah, like those are like kind of the two that I can highlight. I can tell like, hey, those are the most popular. Also, I feel like on the particular topic of friction of precision fuel from the UK, they have done really well on building a whole ecosystem of products. You find everything you need. You can dial up everything ex- precisely, and it's so easy to follow. Like it tells you like 30 grams of carbs. Do this 30 grams of carbs. You don't have to think about it. You're aiming for 60 or for 90 for 120. You take as many gels or as many chews as you need, and you're set. Same with their hydration. It's just easy to follow. That's the from everything we have. That's the best seller product that we have across the entire line of things that we carry. We
Well,
don't
that's
carry everything across everything we carry. Yeah.
I was gonna say I know a lot of people that use precision hydration, including me. I use it some too, but my
I like the
fiance
gels.
and Matt and several of us all use it. So
Yeah.
especially the gels. The gels I think are great because they don't have a lot of flavor to them, and they
That's the
just
stuff
go
I
down
like.
easy.
Like when I do use gels, that's what I use
Mhm.
over the last, I don't know, 5 months now. It's just been Hyperlot.
Yeah.
It's so
Dude,
simple. I don't have to.
yeah, think about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just drink it. I know what's in there.
And
Yeah.
I'll tell you something else I have gotten hooked on, and it's something y'all put in my order. I didn't even order it. You threw it in there, and I've ordered it since then. Uh, but it's the chews, the precision hydration chews. Dude, those
Dude.
are so good. My fiance has told me for months, like, you got to try these. They're good. And I'm like, what flavor is it? She's like, it's lemon mint. And I'm like, I don't. And
Uh-huh.
you all threw one in my pack, my box, and I ordered it as like a little sample, like, which was cool. And I was like, well, I'll try it. And I ate it, and I looked at my fiance, and I'm like, that was so good. She's like, I told you.
Dude, I'm a solids guy. I do like gels, but at some point I'm like, I need the feeling to chew on things. So I'm in love with the chews. So it's just,
Mhm.
you nibble through. It's,
Yeah. And
you
what's
know,
great is those are not super chewy. I mean, and it's enough solid to where it kind of helps with the acid in your belly.
Mhm.
So it's like, it was good. Like, I was impressed.
yeah.
Because they got they have a small one and a big one, if I remember right.
Yes.
The big one's
30
like
and a 60.
60 grams.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
the only gel or like gummies I've ever tried from like a hydration part was the goo ones, and I'm not a big fan of goo itself, but the gummy things, delicious.
mhm.
Like I can just eat them like actual
Yeah.
gummies.
Yeah. Goos get old real
They
fast.
get old quick.
Ugh.
Dude, we have a couple new products coming in which are like gummies, and it's crazy because my kids they think they're like just gummies for them to take. I'm like, no, those things are loaded. Like you shouldn't take that, or you're not gonna go to bed.
Oh yeah.
We're getting a couple of those coming in the next couple of weeks, and I'll send you guys a couple so you
I
guys can.
love it. I love it.
Sweet.
Well, and and for the listeners out there, like, it just so happened like how this all, how Brian and East Coast Adventures met was Brian launched the company. Chris and I had launched Friction Prescription, and then it just kind of all came about. We started messaging back and forth, and I think Brian had followed East Coast Adventures too, and we just kind of all started messaging,
Yep.
and it worked out to where we learned about the Fooster. Now that's where I've actually been ordering my fuel from. Um, and you had the products that we used
Yep.
anyway. So like we had just switched to Hyperlite. We were using precision hydration. So it was really cool. And then when we got to talking to you, I was like, oh, this dude's awesome. So, just worked out really cool. And I'm glad that Friction Prescriptions, you got to test it. And what you said, I love what you said is like this, you're selling the stuff that you use that worked. And for anybody that's listening, Brian used Friction Prescription in his 50K. So it was tested, and that's what I love is like people that actually test products before they just throw them on the shelf. And that goes a long way because, man, I have had some really bad nutrition.
Yeah. Yep.
Really bad. So I love that you all are doing that. Are you all doing that as a collective? Like
Yes.
okay.
The the internal kind of motto that we have is like if it doesn't work for us, I might not use it all the time, but I get to test absolutely everything, and I have to test it on a stress situations. So if I can test it either on a race or a long distance, session or something like that, and it works for me, we'll carry that product. It doesn't matter what it is. So we try to do that, and we try to force. There are some exceptions, right? Like my wife tends to be the guinea pig for everything. We just had a baby, so she cannot necessarily test everything because baby's gonna test everything. So there's some exceptions to the rule, but other ways is like, dude, we need to. I feel it's honest if you do
Yeah.
that, right? Like it works. If it works for me, it might work for you. I might not necessarily really like it. I don't like sweet things. Like I don't like sugar or like the really sweet stuff. So I tend to gravitate toward things that have like less sugar content. Hyperlight is amazing. I love because it doesn't taste like
Yeah.
anything. It's just a very slight taste.
Yep.
I know I can just pack a bottle of that thing and just be gone for an hour and a half, and I'm
Yep.
fine. I'm set. I'm set with that. So I love their products. For example, and they're here in McKinney as well. I'm in McKinney, North Texas.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're here, and great guys, wonderful people, really fast. They're really yeah.
Well, I figure if Hyperlight can fuel Hans Troyer to a five and a half hour 50 miler, it can work for me. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
so what is the vision for the Fooster then? Like, are you wanting to just stick to fuel and hydration, or are you planning to grow beyond that?
I think at some point we want to grow beyond that. I think as a business, the foot in the door is the nutrition portion of it, right? As an aggregator of what kind of bringing together all these brands into one single roof. That was the first thing. But I see a lot of potential to grow in other areas, from especially gear. I like physical things. I have a side project that I like to invent random stuff. So I have like physical products that I'm solving problems for, like solving problems for as little as like, hey, I need to use scoopers for something. Can I redesign the scooper? Can I redesign the bottles? Can I redesign the headlamps? Because I don't like the headlamp bothering me. So can I do those things? So eventually I would like to maybe find a way to bring those things into the fold of what Fooster is. I don't think I'll ever do it with a Fooster brand. I don't necessarily like that, but maybe creating. I like the pain. I like creating something from scratch and then trying to build that thing, and then like it's like running. You find a new trail, it's like it's gonna suck, but it's gonna be awesome. I
Yeah.
like
I mean,
that.
there's growing pains with anything
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
We've learned that with East Coast Adventures. We've learned that
Sure have.
with this podcast, and me and Chris are seriously learning that with Friction Prescription, as far as like just getting everything lined up right. And it's and we've had growing pains across the board on everything. I mean, East Coast Adventures, it took us. I mean, we're almost 6 years in now, and it's amazing to see we went from 2 races to. I mean, we basically have 9, 10 races now.
We have 8 total this year, and then
Mhm.
next year we're bringing in, what, 2 more. So
I mean, it's really fun. I mean, eventually we're going to have basically a race a month, which is a lot. But
some of them got 2 a month.
and then to think we have a running team now. We've had a running team now. This is the third year
Third
of the
official,
running team.
fourth unofficial.
And we have almost 60 athletes, and those athletes hold state records across the board for 100 miler, 100K, 50 miler. So it's just fun to see how that's grown. But man, has it been growing pains?
Yeah.
Like just learning and trying to adapt, and that's how we brought Matt on. It just I mean, you probably understand this, but like it was just me and Mike. We realized real quick, me and Mike couldn't do everything. And Matt was at every event, and he was asking us questions. He was always helping. So we were just like, "Hey, dude, just come on board. Let's do it." And from there, we started this podcast, and we're 3 years into that now.
Started it in 2023, in September of 2023.
I was thinking earlier, kind of thinking about this podcast and and the company as a whole kind of, in this moment of, hey, it's a new year, we've been open for a couple months, and evaluating that. And I was thinking about the idea that, and you guys know, right, like going into this, like extremely hard during sports kind of teaches you so many valuable things for life. And part of entrepreneurship is that, right, is like, that you have to kind of live every moment. It's like, you go one step at a time, and it doesn't matter that it's hurting. You just, dude, put your head down and just keep walking. That's all you have to do. That's it, and it's gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be fine. And when you get to the other side, the you're gonna be super happy, but then you're gonna be like, okay, what's the next one? And then you go.
Yep.
So yeah, I always like live of this entrepreneurial life of that. Like, it's fun, it's great, it's difficult, but bro, it's awesome. It's just the challenge is just, it's amazing. So love it. Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to love it to do it,
Yeah.
because like, it's not, none of it's easy,
No.
and you're always taking a risk when you put yourself out there to do something. And we do it because this community is amazing, and this sport pulled us in somehow.
Yep.
We had some reason that we all started running, and everybody's reason and why is a little different, but it all becomes, like you were saying earlier, it becomes such a integral part of who you are, and how how you respond with things, and how you deal with things. And just having an hour of your time to go run, whether in an hour you run 2 miles or 10, doesn't matter. Just carving out 45 minutes to an hour to go run. When you come back, that stress feels a little less. That day feels a little easier. Your patience are a little longer, and like, these little things that bothered you aren't as bad as you really thought they were. Like, it's just, you just need some me time, like, and running gives you that.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's just something so different, and it's something you can do anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I have this little challenge of, like, every city I go, I have to run. I have to clock it in my Strava. So I'm sure the CIA will find me somewhere because I clock everything in my freaking Strava. But I like the idea of, like, it's a challenge. Instead of, people collect like pins and things of every state they have been. Like, I want to collect runs in every place that I've been. Some of them are difficult though. Went to South America last year, tried to run there. It was an experience. It was like a life-changing experience. Yeah, not recommended. Not in the city, at least.
No.
Yeah, it's in my Strava.
Well,
Yeah.
now, as far as like the Fooster or Fooster, do you go by
Fooster,
the Fooster or Fooster?
we go by Fooster. Fooster is the name. It's just,
Okay.
it's one of those business decisions that the Fooster was cheaper than buying Fooster. So
Believe
the
me, I
Fooster
understand
it is.
that. Some of those
So
website domains can get really expensive.
yeah, and I tried to negotiate with the guy, and it was like, no, dude, I want to keep my liver. I don't want to sell it to another domain. So yeah, we go by the Fooster. It
Okay.
kind of,
Gotcha. Well, is Fooster planning on? So will we see you at events? Are you planning on working events throughout the next few years?
yeah, we have this idea that we want to be somehow global, but with a local mentality. And for us, that translates into, I don't think we will ever have a physical location. I'd rather have, like, multiple warehouses where we distribute or merchandise and our nutrition products from, but not really a physical location unless, something changes in life. But we like to, regardless of where we are in the country, trying to be as local as possible. And that involves going to the local races. Like, there's nothing better that, if anything, just for the sake of doing, customer research. It's just shaking someone's hand, asking, "Hey, how do you do during the race? How are you feeling? Oh, by the way, you forgot to bring this here. Take some shoes and try some shoes while you're running, so you don't bunk at mile 20 something." So we like to do that. We started this year with a couple of local races here in the North Dallas area. We're expanding. We're expanding through the northern part of Dallas this year. Also, we're doing across multiple sports because of the nutrition brand. We have to go across multiple sports. So we're going heavy into mountain biking, long distance, triathlon. So we're kind of going through that, and we're doing a couple of races. Hopefully, we'll be in Knoxville on the 18th of April. We'll bring everyone there. It's going to be fun.
I love it.
So we're going to be there with you guys, shaking hands and eating tacos or just having fun.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. You'll love the World's Fair Park. Such a cool venue. We'll make sure we have tacos there.
Yeah, save me some when I get there.
Yeah, but definitely we're supporting local races. We're doing that. We're doing Georgia. We're trying to find. We're gonna make it like a road trip. One of my co-founders, he's in Raleigh, North Carolina. So we're trying to find where to show up and shake hands. Even if it doesn't matter if it's just a Saturday get together with like 5 friends. Dude, we don't mind having an aid station for you guys to go run like 2 miles. Oh, good. We shake hands and we just meet people. I feel like that's very fulfilling, personally. So we'll do that.
That's awesome. I think that goes a long way, though.
Yeah.
Supporting the local races, people are going to remember that. Especially the runners that are coming. You can answer questions, talk to them, and they learn more about you. So I think that's awesome that you guys are going to do that, because that is, you don't really think about it when you see Fooster or someone at a race, but that's a weekend away from your family. That's hours you've spent traveling and driving, and to do that every weekend is so hard. So, sometimes people don't really understand like how hard it is to do that, but we do, and we really appreciate it when, anybody that's working with us, any of our sponsors or anybody that comes out, like it's a big deal, and we appreciate it because it's just family time you lose. It's time you lose away from everything, because most of us don't work on the weekends, but all of us run on the weekends, so when you go work a race, you're taking away from your running time too. So it's, but it's a big deal, but also it goes a long way. So I'm glad y'all are doing that.
I think it's definitely good, like just seeing like people in person, because you can see anybody on the internet, but once you see them in person, actually get to have a conversation with them, that could change the whole outcome of how you look at a company or just an individual.
Yeah, we like supporting local. Like we're trying to do as much as possible for local teams. Like for us, it doesn't really. Uh, I don't want to diss anyone, right? But I feel like either you get it or you don't get it. You're a professional or you're not. But what we found out is like, dude, I'm not a professional. I'm a guy who has a job, who has a family, whose my athletic life happens between 4 o'clock in the morning and before kids' breakfast. Like, that's my life. And I realized that that's the life of most of us, right? We carve time, away from things. Like I don't sleep much because I have to go for a 3-hour run because I'm prepping for a race, right? Or like Saturday morning, like I hate running with spiders. Like I'm one of those persons that I don't like insects. So I hate it. But my local trails crowded with spiders during the summer, and I'm like, dude, I don't like to do this, but I have to. And I go in the middle of the night to be able to get my 2-3 hours so I can do a couple miles on my local trail because I'm prepping for a race. So I feel like most of us are like stubborn in a good way. We're stubborn enough to wake up early and do the right thing. So, for whatever goal we have in life. So I feel like, well, we like to support that. We like to support all the stubborn people in the world that want to, do the racing, do the prepping, the taking away time from their family to do, whatever they find passion and love from. So that's kind of like the core of Fooster. Like there's an old Apple commercial that Steve Jobs said something like, the misfits, those that are like the square pegs and round holes, and I kind of resonated with that because I feel like what I found in running is that it says I found my misfits. I belong to them, and somehow they belong to me, and somehow we're odd, but we're fun and we like it, and it's just great, and somehow we vibe on the same frequency, and we get to do random things, and it's also great when you tell your coworker like, dude, I just ran 24 miles this morning, and it's just mine. Like, somehow your cred goes like way up. So.
Yep. You always get that look after you say it. They're like, what is wrong with you? I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
feeling.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool, and I can't wait to actually get to meet you guys in person.
Mhm.
Sounds like you've got a lot going. So home for you guys is Texas.
Yeah. Home for us is Texas. We are north of Dallas, about 30 miles north of Dallas. Technically, we're still in Dallas, but it's like one of those cities that are like you don't know when you switch cities. So we're a small town called McKinney. That used to be a small town. Now it's a pretty big town, or a smaller city, part of the metroplex of Dallas. So we are almost at the border with Oklahoma, kind of. It's
Got it.
cold in winter.
Yeah.
During winter time, it's cold.
So you got like a good little area right there where you're like, I mean, you got a few states that you can hit pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Sweet.
yeah. That's the great part. The only downside of Texas is I grew up in the mountains of Colombia in South America. So it's the middle of the Andes. So I'm used to high elevation, high mountains. I love that. Mountain biking there is the coolest thing ever. You might die at every turn, but it's amazing. When we moved from Florida, we lived in Florida for a while to Texas, everything is flat. So there's elevation, but everything is like little hills. So we
Yeah.
try to, that's the only downside of here. So we try to go a lot to, whereas Arkansas has great mountains to run,
Yeah.
great mountains to ride. Like we tend to do that, but it's a great area. It's like in the middle of everything. Texas is so big that if you drive, it takes forever to leave Texas. That's the only downside. But it's in the middle of everything, I guess.
Yeah. Really.
Colorado is like 8 hours away, which is great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pretty convenient.
8 hours away is like driving all the way to Memphis from us. It's like our state it's not very like what is that, vertical?
Yeah.
But it's horizontal. You take
Oh,
forever
yeah. Oh yeah.
to get to the other side of the state.
Good old Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 hours of Colorado. That'd be nice.
Well, Brian, I have to ask this question. So
Ask me.
I'm just curious. What is the longest distance that any of you or your co-founders has ran? Who's got the record there?
It depends on the sport. My co-founder, he did something called Patagonia Man. So he's a triathlete. So it's like a very long distance triathlon. Like it's a full Ironman in the middle of the Andes Mountains, wide open ocean. It's hard. So that's the toughest.
And that's called what?
Patagonia Man. It's the same as Ironman, but it's like they have
Okay.
Norseman happens in Nordic countries.
That's
Patagonia
cool.
Man happens in South America.
I've got to
They
look
have
that up.
Yeah.
Patagonia, man.
So that's pretty tough. I guess running, I'm the one who has run the most. Like during training, I was easily making it to like 30 miles. Like I felt comfortable to that. During racing, I just made it to 27.
Hey,
So I don't have the
you
record.
never know on race day what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's you could be trained and ready and have the worst day ever.
Yeah.
So
And
how many people are in that internal circle that does the testing and does all that stuff?
we're pretty small as a team, and it's just a bunch of good friends. We are in my circle of people that test absolutely everything is 4 people.
Well,
We
4
do
people's a
everything.
lot though.
4 people get you good consensus.
Yeah, it's 4 people to test absolutely everything. 2 of us are the ones kind of leading the charge in absolutely everything, and the other 2 are support for other things. So they get to be guinea pigs. I'm like, hey, taste this thing, and they can. So yeah, but it's usually 4 people, and we have 2 of them are kind of in and out. It's more like support. It's like, hey, I come and I know they know what we're working on. They know we have a new product coming in, so they go and try to source the product somewhere else to test it before we even start a conversation with someone. So they do things like that. It's usually 4 people, but 2 of us are the ones just kind of leading the charge for the most part.
And you said the co-founder is in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
How did y'all two meet?
I was his boss many years ago.
Ah,
He was my intern. He was like a dude. His story is super cool. He was a bartender. That was his life. And then Madonna, the singer, hired him as a personal bartender for a tour. That
wow.
was his life for like 10 years. And
Wow.
one day he was like, I'm sick of this thing. I'm going to go into advertising. And I was working in an agency in Miami. Uh, this random dude, long hair, full of rings everywhere, leather. I'm like, dude, it's freaking Miami. This thing is hot. Dressed up in black, dreadlocks, like super cool looking guy shows up and he's like, I'm your intern. I'm like, cool. So that,
Man, I bet he's got some stories.
Oh yeah.
oh, dude, that's some really good, really weird stories.
I
Like,
bet.
Yeah, I bet.
I bet.
yeah. So he was my intern, and I hired him. We worked together, and we became friends, and that's it. We just click somehow. He's my other weirdo. Like, he's a friend.
You gotta have another weirdo. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
you can't. It's so much easier to do this with somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to sometimes you get so excited about something you're doing, you kind of miss the little kinks that can happen. So having another person there with you, to, like when you throw your idea out, and they're like, I mean, that's good, but what if, and you're like,
We definitely, yeah.
oh, yeah, true.
We definitely got that with the East Coast Adventures.
Yeah.
David is the idealist. He's like, let's do this, and this. And Mike is the one that sits back and he's like planning everything and what all goes wrong. And I'm kind of in the middle, like, sounds like a good idea. I'm down for it, but let's think through it. So like we're perfect. It's a great combination.
I can give us a full year's of work in 2 days.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I tend to be that guy. Like, I'm sending like voice. I'm a voice note type of guy, so I just send messages all day, and it's like firing ideas all day. And then I get my co-founder. He's like, hey, just stop, dude. It's just Monday. You stop. Stop.
Yep.
I get quite of those every week.
Love it. I
Few of
love it.
those. Yeah,
I know the feeling.
it's fun, man. It's exciting.
Well, Brian, I got to ask you now the question we ask everybody, and then we'll turn it over to Matt for some listener questions,
got?
and we'll close this thing up here shortly. But why do you run? What keeps you wanting to do this sport, even though you've, had struggles? You got a family, you have a short window of like 2 hours every day to get up at 4 a.m. and go do this. You get injured in a 50K, put all that training in, but things don't always go our way, and somehow we all continue to do this sport. What drives you? Like, why do you continue to run?
I I think could be many answers to that, but I really like the challenge. I like to do hard things. In my personal life, I really like hard challenges, and running is it's one of them. It's like it's really difficult. Sometimes it's really difficult to wake up early and sacrifice time and make do with whatever gear you have. Your shoes are old. It's raining outside. It's freaking cold. Like all that. But I like the challenge of that because I like to feel that I'm growing through that experience. Either it's a great run or it's a run that sucks. So that will be one of part A of my answer. The other part of that, I feel like, and I'm sorry, I kind of bring a lot of advertising references because I spent most of my career on that. There's an old like Nike spot about addiction, and it says that running is the only addiction you never get cured from. And I feel like it is that. It's like I need it. Like at this point, I need to run. And unless you're a runner, like I cannot explain the feeling to you. I can only feel like, yeah, it's an addiction. I really need to run for everything, for my peace of mind. Uh, Let me tell you guys earlier, like I like the idea of going out to think, just clear my mind, or calm my soul, whatever it is, just for the adrenaline of, can I do a PR? I have this there's this stretch of by my house, which a good friend of mine, Brady Clayton, the guy who directed the Hans Stroyer movie for Hyperlight. He's a good buddy of mine. He's my running buddy, but he has this segment that we steal each other, the local legend from that. So at this point, it's personal. Like I have to text him in the morning and show him that I beat him every morning. So yeah, it's like I need it. Like I need it. I don't have an explanation. I just need that in my life, and I feel like if I don't have that, I'll go crazy. Like I need that. So I guess that
Love
would be
it.
an honest answer.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Nope,
Yeah.
I love it. All right, Mr. Williams, I'll turn it over to you,
All
sir.
right, we got a few questions here. The first one says, you're a dad and a business owner. What drives you to make the time to stay active?
What drive family? I think family and everything, right? Like I've seen how getting older and being sedentary affects you. My parents are an example of that. My dad was a super active guy that somehow with the time he just stopped, being active. And now he struggles with, mobility and age related things. And I feel like I don't want to be that for my kids. I want to be able to be 80 years old, 90 years old, and still have the time to play, to run, to feel like I can give myself to them. So that's why I make time for them. It's like, hey, this is part of loving my family well and serving my business well. Like I have to. It'll be
Yep.
hypocritical of me not to exercise and have a company that sells nutritional products. I'm doing that. Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
All right, the next one is, what gaps in the market gave you the idea to start Fooster?
Oh, I like that question.
Um, it's interesting though. When we started evaluating Fooster, we come from two things, and this is something we haven't discussed yet. I come, my background comes from advertising. Then I went into entrepreneurship. I used to have a technology startup, which we did all the rounds of Silicon Valley, raising capital, whatever. It was in telecommunications space, similar to um, Starlink, different technologies. We came up with something like that. And then last year, after a long conversation with my co-founders, with my wife, I made the decision of, hey, I'm out. But the idea of becoming an entrepreneur never left, which is interesting. That's like that yearning for like I want to do something that carries meaning was interesting. So I kept it. So in looking for Fooster was like, well, I'm pretty sure there should be a ton of places that sell all the things that I consume. And I went looking for those places and I couldn't find them. I found a couple. There are a couple there. There's one of them that is like the reference for everyone, and there's Amazon. There's this other one. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no much offering on that, right? And when I go into that, I see like, well, the market is skewed towards like either you're a pro athlete that you completely understand your nutrition, because nutrition is almost like a taboo. Like you don't necessarily talk about that. You don't really know about that. A friend of mine says, and please edit this out if you guys don't think it's correct. Like it's like teenage sex. Like you kind of talk about it, but you don't know what you're doing. That's kind of what nutrition feels like. Like you don't really know what it is. So either you're a pro and you have someone coaching you on what to eat, what to drink, when to do all those things, or you're relying on someone just sending you the good vibes, and that's how you're facing life and races and training and all that stuff. So that for me was like a red flag of like, well, there's a gap on the market for everyone else. Because my logic is pro athletes are like how many? I don't know, like the 1% of the 1%. And then everyone else is like it's 99% of everyone is an athlete that is in this space, that they in between. But there's nothing for them, right? Or the options that are there are very skewed to certain groups, but not necessarily for everyone. It's like, yeah, if I don't belong to that group, then I do not have enough nutrition for me. So that was kind of the gap that sparks one. Then the other gap, and this is super technical in the business side, was I just did market research on that and kind of pull data from things, did a little analysis on the data, what the market was, what the value of the market is. And then it was like, dude, this feels like it feels like someone should have done it, but no one is doing it. And I was like, well, if no one is doing it, why I should try? Yeah, if I should try, let's see what happens. It's a new trail, right? Like it's kind of a trail. Let's go to that trail. What happens?
I love
So
it.
yeah.
That's good.
I love it.
Well, on that same topic, what has been the biggest growing pain while starting this new adventure?
Ooh, everything. Like a shipping business, like it's not as simple as just shipping stuff, right? You have to worry about uh, everything. On my past startup, we had a team, and the team we have people, and people do things. Here is like it's four of us, and only two of us are like actively moving everything. The other two come in and out whenever whenever they have time. We'll have jobs and things that we do. Growing pains is like just from basic stuff. How do you make a return? I didn't know how to make a return. I didn't know how to ship a box. I didn't know like the little note, believe me or not, like the little notes, we take the time to write a note on everyone based on whatever we think like, can I, with whatever I give you, can I give you something back to you? Like we have a mojo of like, we want to champion the customer. Like, how can I serve you? But even a little note of like, dude, enjoy the miles, or dude, enjoy the training, or like, hey, I hope this shoe bar comes in handy whenever your tank is empty. Like those little things. That's been a growing pain because we didn't know anything about that. And coming from technologies, it's so separated from the consumer. I have the consumer like that's why I go to races and shake hands, because I want to know like, hey, what does Matt like? And pretty sure where he doesn't like the same thing that David likes. So that's been a growing pain, understanding that each person it's unique, is their own world, and somehow Fooster needs to serve them and champion them. That's kind of like the hardest growing pain, and dealing with all the behind the scenes of storage and things. My wife, she's a saint. You should see our living room. It's amazing. It's fun.
Oh. Yeah, I believe my last order had a John Muir quote in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, John Muir.
Yeah.
The next one, what has been the most exciting brand that you've got to work with?
Oh, in Fooster, remember I come from advertising. So in advertising, I work with many different
Yeah,
brands. I can tell you stories, but Fooster, dude, I really like exciting brand. Hyperlight has been really exciting though. Like the growth of those guys, dude, it's phenomenal. They went. I saw them. I saw them before, they were shipping one box a day, and then all of a sudden it was like they ran out of inventory, they ran out of product. And then I remember, talking to one of them, and he was like, dude, we have no inventory, we have a race to run, we don't even have, a bag. So do you have a bag of Hyperlight, because we need to race. And they race on their own product, which is fantastic. I love that. They've been great. Like seeing their growth it's incredible. That's been great as a brand. And I have it here at McKinney, so we chat, and I kind of see firsthand the success they're having and the impact they're having in the community of the ultra running community. That's been really great. Um, uh, the guys from Precision Fuel are amazing. They're just I have my contact is a girl named Lucy out of the UK. So we just chat at random times. They're being super supportive, super exciting. They're always pushing for cool stuff. And Chris and David, man, like they're like speed dial. Anything, any idea you have, we just kind of they're like, yeah, let's go for it. Like they don't even question it, which is amazing. That's great. Yeah,
Yeah, we're having fun. That's the most important thing. Me and Chris are having lots of fun.
that's cool.
All right, my last question is, what brand do you want to see at Fooster's that isn't there already?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay, I'm going to respond with one that told me no, that I would love to have. Scratch Labs.
They told you
They told
no?
you no?
They told me no. Um, I think in trying to understand them, at the time that we reached, the website wasn't open. It was just a random dude with a generic email trying to text them like, "Hey, by the way, I'm opening this thing. Let me paint a picture for you. Please imagine that it's going to be amazing. Can we carry your products?" So inside their strategy was like, well, maybe no, right? It's random guy. Maybe it's not a serious thing or not. We have an approach since that moment, since that happened at some time, like a couple months ago, before we launched. So I would love to have them. That would be great. Scratch Labs, because I use their products. I'm like, dude, I use your stuff. I would love to, have your stuff to offer. Um, Never Second seems like an amazing brand. I love them. I've used their gels in the past. I like their stuff. Um, Other brands, a friend of mine is really. Have you guys heard of this brand called? I believe it's Phoebionics. It's like vanilla. It's some pills that basically what it is you take it and it feeds your gut bacteria. So it eats up your lactic acid. So you recover way faster. With
Okay.
like
What's it called?
V as in Victor, Nella, vanilla.
Oh yeah, I've been taking that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't tried it. Every single friend I have is like, we love that thing. And I'm like, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I tried it for like 3 months straight, and then I quit taking it because I quit racing. But I, it's one of those where I was going through a really hard training block,
Hmm.
so I was training for Yeti 100,
Yeah.
and I took it for like 3 months straight, and I think it did. I think it truly did help me with the longer runs, as far as like lactic acid not building up. So it was pretty impressive. But I would like to try it again in like a shorter, like a marathon block to see how much it would help. Because in a 100 miler, you're not really like,
Yeah.
but I wanted to try it. I saw it and I was like, I got to try this stuff.
He tries anything.
I do. I do.
That's good. This is, I'm going to send you a couple of samples. We have a couple of brands that we're thinking about onboarding, but one of them is like, dude, this is like the stuff that someone makes in the kitchen counter. It's amazing though.
Really?
It's great. I met the guy who makes it.
Oh, I got to try it now.
He has a mountain bike guy. He has a record. It's just that the packaging is like, okay, that kind of makes you question things. Like, chances are he has an RV and he makes it inside the RV.
Ooh.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking, but like, dude,
I would,
amazing product.
yeah, I got to try this. That's
I'll
awesome.
send you a couple samples. Yeah, good thing about having a marketplace for endurance, like I get to try absolutely everything, which is like when I'm training, I'm like, what do I feel like taking today? And then I get my favorites and stuff like that. But I can take absolutely every product. I test everything. That's good.
Well, and to your point though, I will say like with friction prescription, took us almost as long to design the packaging as it did the product. Like I mean, we spent a while developing the product and getting it right. And then it was like forever to get the packaging right. We just kept trying and we're like, something's not right. Something's not right. It's not the brand. It's not the brand. So I understand like some people that just have generic branding.
Yeah.
Because it really takes a while to figure out like your brand's important.
Yeah.
It's as important as the product. If you don't have good branding these days,
Yeah.
good chance no one's going to find your product. And on another note, I'm going to send you my scratch contact.
Cool. That's awesome.
We as race directors, we used to use them.
Yeah.
And I have the wholesale guy's email, and he's been phenomenal with us. We used to buy it wholesale from him for our event, so I'll send you his contact information.
I would love to have him. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be great.
He's always been super pleasant with me, so there's no ever any questions. I mean, so I'll send you that contact. We used to use them for all of our events.
Yeah.
So we've switched hydration a few times over the years.
I know. I know. I feel like I'm not a diehard one single brand just because I get to try everything. So
Yeah.
depending on how I'm feeling, I'm like, okay, let me try something else.
Well, some brands or some like hydration go better with the seasons. You
Yes,
know, some if you got like a winter, you know, a higher like flavor content is better. In the
yeah,
summertime, you don't want any flavor because you're dying.
yeah.
So it goes, you know, trying different things during different seasons works.
Unless you're me. And then you just try something every time you order it.
Yeah, it's true. Every time they're like,
Dude,
Matt, here's this one. I'm like, never heard of
dude,
it. It's pretty good. Next week, here's this one. I'm like, no clue, dude.
I made that mistake on a race. Like, those waffle, like protein waffle thingies. Dude, worst mistake ever. The
Mm,
last 2 miles were like painful.
It's hard
Yeah,
to get those things down after a
oh,
while.
I can't. Like,
yeah.
I can't chew them. If it's like maybe right before a race, when your mouth is all good, your palate's still good. Yeah, but trying to do it while you're running, or
It's
then your
complicated.
palate changes, and you're like, this is just powdered dust at this point. I cannot do this.
Yeah, it's funny. Like every time Matt comes to the house, I have different gels or something. But I always order, like, if I'm racing with something, I
Mhm.
always have that.
Yeah.
I order the same thing every time for that. Like, I'm always like blending that in. But every couple of runs, I change it because I just don't want to get burnt out on stuff.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's good because you never know in a race
Yeah.
when you're going to have to use the aid station, and
Mhm.
who knows what they have.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like my stomach's ready for the rainbow.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot, like racing with
Yeah.
certain things, but also trying during your training runs, just everything, throw it
Yeah.
all. So I mean, I've got 3 or 4 different brands that I'll use on my everyday runs, but I know Hyperlite is the one I'm going to use for my races
Yeah.
because it's simple
Yeah.
and it's the flavor is just enough.
Yeah, dude, the guy I'm surprised. Like, I trained my whole summer. My friend Brady, the one I told you about earlier, he did this experiment of trying to do from zero. Like, dude, he barely ran a mile to running a 50K, which is Bandera that happens in January, like every year. So we trained through the winter, and then I couldn't run because my daughter was born January 1st. So last year. So and the race was like 8 days later. So we trained the whole winter. Oh,
Mhm.
dude, he made it from like never running to just running a mile to like, dude, killing a 50K. His knee wasn't feeling that well after at the end, but he did it and it was just pure hyperlight. Just that was his fuel strategy. Just chug as much of that as you can. Like
That's what I've
tons.
ran.
I mean, it'll work. It's got the calories and the
I've ran
carbs.
my last 3 races strictly on that. No food, no gels, just Hyperlot, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Ha- Have you seen? I saw a post from Hans the other day that like the super bottle or something like that
Oh,
is like double the amount.
Oh yeah.
so I ran Blue Ridge Ultra when
Uh-huh.
he went down there and broke the course record, and I ran the 25K or 18 miler, and he ran the
Uh-huh.
50K. And
Uh-huh.
as soon as he got done, he finished 5 minutes after I did. He started 30 minutes earlier, but he finished 5 minutes after I did the 18 miler. He ran at like 3:52. And he got done and we were talking. He's like, you should try the super bottle.
I know.
And so he starts telling me about it. Then we had him on the podcast. Like he told us, everything he did for the super bottle.
Uh-huh.
So he was all about it. I tried it, not to the way he did it. He tried like a huge amount. But I just tried
Really?
like 3 scoops in a very small one.
No, dude, I have to mix it up. I do some sort of hyperlight usually on my bottle, like a soft hyperlight serve, like
Yeah.
just half a serve.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And then I supply with like nutrition, something else. Like I'm in love of the little. I like solids, dude. I
Yeah.
like to feel that I'm full. I like to lie to myself, like, yeah, you're full. You're doing great. You're eating. I like the chews, and we have a lot of. We just tested a couple like new chews. Dude, they're addicting. Which is, yeah, I'm worried about that. They're addicting good.
That may be good for the business if they're addicting.
They're
Though.
addicting.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff. And they're good stuff.
Well, Brian, man, I just want to say thank you
Yeah.
for coming on the podcast. And for people that have not heard of Fooster, check them out, thefooster.com. And you've obviously got to spend a little bit of time with Brian today. So pretty cool guy, and it's pretty fascinating to actually know that 4 people's running this business and they're actually testing the products, and that's what's really cool is if it's on their store, it's at least been tested by them.
Yep.
But check them out, thefooster.com. Brian, when's the next race? We got to ask you that before we end this podcast. You gonna train for something else?
My next race, I need to get better in my knee. I'm trying to shoot for something in hopefully by April, May. I don't know what's out there. I was looking at you guys as like a calendar of races, and I'm like, that would be fun. It's just I'm scared of like climbing. Texas is so flat. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I might show up to one of your races during the summer.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, that would be good. I was thinking about doing like run rabbit run.
Yeah.
I have enough time to prep for that one.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun trip to Colorado.
What is your recovery time?
Between races?
No. With your knee and stuff right now.
My knee, I have probably I'm like 70% there. Like if I push my knee hard, I feel a little bit of pain, especially lateral movement. The tear it's just kind of rubbing against the bone. So I'll say for like 2 more months, and I'll be 100%. But I can run now. I'm trying to incorporate more cross training. I just kind of join a group of friends. They're doing like some kind of scheduled cross training specific for things. So I'm trying to incorporate more of that because I guess big part of me not feeling well was I was just running. I wasn't doing anything else.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get stronger all over, not just my legs.
That'll help you so much.
Yeah. So I say for like 2 months. In 2 months, I should be 100%. But I can start building up to that. My goal now is to run for like 20 miles a week. That will be my goal. If I can do that by the end of January, I'll feel like it's a good accomplishment. That's either 2 long runs or a bunch of little ones, but goal will be like 20 miles. Push it to 25 maybe. So yeah.
I love it. Well, man, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, sharing your story, telling us how, telling us about you and also how how Fooster got started. So we appreciate that so much. But before we end the call or the podcast, we got to ask, do you have any questions for us?
If you put me on the spot.
I know it's so funny. All of our listeners or all of our guests are always like, "Oh,
I don't know. Well, yes and no. It's more like a selfish request. It's like, what can I do to put Fooster in the mind and ears of all your listeners? I would love that. I would love for people to find an option in Fooster, to find whatever nutrition and whatever things. Also, I do have a question for you guys. If you guys have something that you guys are using because both of you are runners that we are not carrying, let me know. Because I would love to be able to source that and carry it. Like I would like to learn from whatever other people is using, what's working for them and what's not. And if something stopped working for you, also let me know. I don't mind delisting things. And I like to, I don't know, like, I don't know if opinionated is the right word, but I like to have a say on the things I carry. I want to be honest with others in that front. So yeah, that wasn't a question. That was just like me rambling.
So one of the things that we want to talk about too is for all of the listeners, Brian is going to offer a discount for all of the Dirt and Vert listeners to come and check out thefooster.com. So we'll share that code in the podcast notes to let y'all know what it is. Brian, thank you so much for doing that for the listeners. But guys, please check them out. And also, if Fooster does not carry something that's on there that you want, just comment on the podcast or in the Instagram account, and we'll make sure that we get that information over to Brian because he wants to know what the runners want. And he wants to know what the Dirt and Vert listeners want. So please, let us know, share your feedback. If there's some nutrition that's really working for you, he'll try to source it and find it.
That's right. Well, thank you guys. It's awesome.
No, thank you so much, Brian. Absolutely. We appreciate your time and, we appreciate the collaboration with everything. It's been fun. just getting to learn about you. And, like me and my fiance, Mary, we both already ordered stuff from Fooster. And, it's been kind of fun because y'all are, we got our stuff pretty quick, which I can say with someone else, another company I've not had very much luck with. I won't say any names. It's why I switched to Fooster. But also, I just love the fact that same with me and Chris, like we put little thank you cards and special handwritten notes and stuff like that. And I think that goes a long way to take the time to do that and to throw in a few little extra swag items. People love that. And you all are doing that. And I think that goes a long way. So thank you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Just one last thing, at least from me, is, and I keep in the back of my mind, is like with Fooster as a company, we are providing for whoever's part of this, or customers or friends, or partners, that they can have a life that they can just, go out, live a life, and make it somehow better for them, find their people, their community. We are set with that. Like, we love that. We would love for Fooster to be a channel that we can provide that somehow, in some way, with you guys. And I feel like being part of this podcast is, it's a little bit into building that journey of how can we just bring someone to some other person that is of value, and we can root for them in whatever journey they are, and somehow help out. Like, I'd like to help as much as possible, and if that means going to a race the whole weekend and getting time away from family, or bringing the whole family to a race, that we'll do. We'll love that.
That's awesome. And that goes a long way. I mean, that truly shows, that you care about your mission and what you're doing and your vision. Because it goes a long way. And that's especially starting a new business like you all are, it's time. It's time away from family. It's late nights. It's on that cell phone, and your kids are sitting there like, Dad. So we know that feeling. But I love what you're doing, and we can't wait to see how far you grow this thing, and anything we can do to help, we will be glad to.
Thanks, guys. Same here.
Well, Brian, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. We hope you, hope everything is successful for you, and we'll get this podcast released next week.
Awesome. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.